Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to try and take this head off this machine to see what it looks like underneath. I want to see what the top of the pistons look like. I'm a bit excited about that. It's pretty crisp out here. My apologies that I haven't had many videos coming out in the last couple of months. Things have been pretty busy in my life, and yeah, no excuse, but yeah, it is what it is. So I hope you enjoy this video. I'm pretty excited to have a look underneath that cover, underneath the head, and get crack into it, eh? I'm pretty curious what the top of the pistons look like. All right, we're just going to have a wee look at trying to take this head off today. See what we can get out of there. So after being on the Facebook group page International Harvester Crawlers, I found out a bit of information about this machine, and awesomely the parts are still available. You can buy the parts in Australia, order them from a company in Australia, which is pretty cool. That there is the generator, and it generates power, so it's basically what charges the battery. That can go over there somewhere. I'll put that down there. I just put my toolbox on the ground, the socket set, because too many times you go to get a socket or something and you bump it and the whole lot ends upside down on the ground, which really sucks. So you can't fall when it's on the ground. Alrighty. I always put the bolts back in the holes so I don't lose them. Too often you end up with a pile of nuts and bolts and a bit of uncertainty around where the hell they go. Especially if you're like myself, I seem to have multiple projects on the go, and sometimes this may sit pulled apart for a long time. So that's just a good practice to get into. Alrighty, I'm going to take you down from your wee mount. Now, you might think this is crazy, but today you're being suspended by a timber clamp onto a pipe. That's just how I roll. Alrighty, let's have a wee look in here. She's pretty rusty, pretty gross. Yeah, lots of crusties all around there, but that's to be expected. Yeah, I'll see what happens. Alrighty, back up on the pole you go. Right, tappets off. Did that break? It's got some oil on it. That's really cool to see. Let's put them in there. Might put those back on there. Oh, did that come all the way through? Look at that. Yes, dropping little nuts is not cool. That actually bounced all the way down there through the track and onto the ground. Very lucky. All right, put them back on there. That bad boy there, where did that go? That was on top of the generator. Now that's good that nothing's too seized up. Well, some of it's getting a bit tight, but yeah, that's all good. All this stuff will be, like it's a hard one. Someone said to me the other day, what are you actually doing with the dozer? Well, I don't really know. The plan is I want this thing to push dirt again. So the plan is to get it going. Now, don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on this machine, even though it was free. Even though it was free, I still don't really want to spend too much on it. Reality is, I don't want to spend too much money on getting this thing going, but I do want to see it push dirt again. The reality is too that I could get the engine going and then realise the gear, like the gears or the clutch, it seemed to kind of sit. When we towed it, it seemed to freewheel fine going into gear. Pulling the clutch was engaging because it was binding up the track, so I couldn't get it into reverse gear, and I couldn't get it into first. The reverse is back and first is front, going forward, so they're on the kind of same side, but didn't want to go into either of them. I could only get into third, fourth and fifth. So there could be gearbox issues too, but let's keep digging. Alrighty. Oh, that is not a 14, I think it's a 15. Not a 15. Interesting. 16. She's a 16. Good. Alrighty. End and end. I kind of put the same, when I'm taking off heaps of bolts like that, maybe I kind of set them out in the way they came off, so I know that they're going to go back on the same stud. So the stud's sticking out there, I know that the same nut's going to go back on. I think they're all the same, but I've always found that it's better to run the same, to marry up the same nut with the same stud. Alrighty, that was a 16. Alrighty, that one. I've had quite a lot of feedback from people quite excited about me working on this machine, which is really cool. And again, I apologise for not having a video put out in the last month or two. After getting it here, and it's middle of winter here in New Zealand. It's not too cold though. We've had a pretty mild winter. There's a lot of things going on in my life at the moment, and we've kind of got to level up those priorities. I've got some children, and about to sort of transition into maybe getting another real job instead of just what people would probably refer to cruising. But I quite enjoy just sort of pottering around. My health has been a little bit crappy as well. I don't know if I've told you, but I'm type 1 diabetic. So I'm now on an insulin pump that's attached to my stomach. But all in all, things are great, and can't complain really. Oh, she's gone loose. What's going on there? There we go. Come on, little nut. Number 4. Okay, what have I got here? That's not connected to that at all. Well, I should take those off. I got that off. So that's 16. I might go out to a 17, which it probably isn't. It's quite interesting, the difference, but some of the things that I find on this machine, the sizes of bolts and nuts. So this is a btd6, which supposedly means it's a British TD6. And I believe that these were manufactured or assembled in Australia. So probably went to Australia in kit set form. Alrighty. So that's what's known as the fuel rail. So the fuel comes out of the injector pumps on the 4 ports and then goes up to each injector. It goes out of the injector, the diesel pump comes out of the diesel pump and then up to the injectors, each 4 injectors along the top. Alrighty, let's put that in there. So now we have the thermostat. Doesn't actually look too bad. Oh, the top side of it's a bit yucky, but sorry about the light here, guys. It's late in the afternoon. It's just starting to get a little bit dark. Not too bad. I'm very impressed at the iPhone I'm using to video. It's my personal phone. It's called an iPhone 11 Max. Incredible pictures, videos. The quality is really good. I don't know if you've ever seen the back of them. They kind of got like three cameras in one, or sort of three-wee camera bits. They seem to take incredible pictures anyway. So that's the thermostat housing. You can see it's got some water in it still. Right, let's smash this head off. All right, take all the lifters out and stick them in here. They're going to need a bit of a clean up. Some of them, that's probably the worst one. That's probably the worst one there. You can kind of see some, it's all pretty much just surface. It'll clean up. But yeah, to be expected, eh? I'll put all these in there. And oh, alrighty. Very handy little piece of equipment is this little universal joint socket extension. Very cool. So I think that's pretty much everything off the head. Well, everything off that I need to remove. Something on the other side. There is a sensor for the oil. Two more bolts. What kind of trickery is this? Found two more bolts. Who would have thought about that? There is two bolts through the firewall. Yeah, glad I didn't try and force it anymore. Guessing that's some sort of dipstick, maybe. I think that's a dipstick for the oil. The air filter actually has oil in the bottom of it, and like in a wee bath in the bottom of it to catch dust and stuff. Pretty cool design. Okay, so that was a wee bit of a mish to get the air filter out up in there. Just drop the canister out so I can get to the two nuts behind it. Yeah, pretty typical. Something that'll catch you out like that. This is one heavy head. Okay, well that's the head off. Straight away what I can see is that mixture that I put probably in my first couple of videos of the transmission and diesel mix is actually still sitting in there. They're actually all full. The front one's leaked a wee bit now. If I run my finger around the cylinders, so if I run my hand around the cylinders, I can feel a bit of rust on the sleeves. So right around, 4's real bad. I can actually feel big chunks. The top of the piston feels rough. Now there's a high possibility that I could clean up the sleeves. Some would say, just put new sleeves in it. I might find that the rust actually just knocks off the surface and doesn't leave any pitting, but then again, that's probably highly unlikely. So I'm probably looking at new sleeves. Well, that's cool. That's I really wanted to get that head off to see what it was like. It's a bit of a big unknown really, until I take the sump off the bottom down under there and drop the oil out and undo the bottom of the con rods to see if I can smack the pistons out. Could be a bit of a mess, that one, but all in all, that's pretty cool. And you can see the valves here too, very gummed up. And number 4 there, pretty rough. To be fair, I will probably just clean that up with a wire wheel and make sure the valves are opening, and she'll be sweet as, I reckon. And that's pretty much us today. It's all I really wanted to do is get that head off and make sure that, well, find out how bad it is, and pretty much just running with what I'm thinking anyway, that I'm going to have to take the sump out and smack the pistons up from the bottom. They do actually fit out through the top. There was a bit of a discussion around, do the pistons have to come out the bottom, but they actually fit. So the bottom of the conrod, the conrod cap that goes around the bearing at the bottom on the crank. All in all, I think that's really cool to get that off and have a wee look-see down in there. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Again, my apologies for the bit of a gap between the videos. I've just got some things going on in life that happens. But yeah, So hopefully not so much of a gap next time before the next video. And yeah, good to get that head off today. And what I suspected is pretty much that's how it's happening. So yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you next time, Bye.